Gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I have done quite a few videos on scammers and being scammed and what scams are happening over in Ukraine and what you can do to avoid them. And there's a reason why I haven't done any scam videos lately, and that is because talking about scams and being scammed, it brings a negative vibe to going over to Ukraine. And the whole scamming part of it, if you're careful, it's a very small amount. And the amount of scammers that are actually here is very small as well. It's just that they know where you're going to be, so they go there to get you. But something has been on my mind for a little while now, and it's something that I think that we need to have a little chat about. So, first thing you need to understand is that scammers are real. There are scammers, okay? But it's not like every woman in Ukraine is out to scam Western guys. It's far from that. It's so far from that, it's just not even funny. Even though I have videos about it and there are a lot of articles and a lot of people talking about it, if you're careful, you won't get scammed, okay? I got scammed. When I first came, the second time that I came over here, I ended up with a pro data for a week. Now, if I'd seen my videos before I went over there, never would have happened, not in a million years. I would have seen it coming a mile away. But that experience that I had actually set me off on this path to try and understand scammers, and that's what sort of created my entire channel pretty much. It was revolved around that, and it was revolved around trying to help guys to not get into a position that I was in. And so I focused heavily on that. Understanding that there are scammers is important. So go and watch my videos and do as much research as you can. It is important to not get scammed, okay? I'm not saying that there are no scammers or downplaying it. There are scammers and you have to watch out for them. But if you are serious about going over to Ukraine to see if you can find a traditional relationship, and you are sick of the Western style relationship like I was, or for whatever reason that you're leaving dating in the West to come over to Ukraine, then you need to watch this video. And this will be, I would say, out of all the scam videos I've done, the most important video that you can watch. This video is a shift in the paradigm that we have at the moment. And most people don't really have this mentality or even this insight. I'm going to call it insight. I'm in a very fortunate position because I hear all sides of stories. And when I say all sides, sides from the guys and also sides from the women as well. So watch this video with an open mind, and hopefully it can enlighten you the same way it enlightened me when I finally figured this out. Okay, so we always talk about scammers. Guys have got scammed. They've been taken to restaurants. They're getting iPhones. The women are getting iPhones for free. They're on these, paper letter websites trying to hook onto guys, to try and take them out on dates, the translator scams. It's everywhere, right? It's everywhere. But let's just stop to think for a second, okay? Where did the scammer come from? When I got scammed the first time, and it was the opposite of what most other people do when they get scammed. When they get scammed, they think, fuck these women, they've wasted my time, they've wasted my money, this has been terrible. But I thought about it in a different way. For me, it was intriguing, and I wanted to find out why I got scammed. Like, I didn't do anything wrong, and I'm a good guy, and I always provide for the woman that I'm with. And I just didn't understand it, this short-term scam. I understand in the West, like, women can marry a guy for 3 years and then they take all of his stuff. I get that, I understand it probably more so than most. But I didn't understand this. I just couldn't get it. Why was somebody willing to scam someone? So I tried to research and I asked questions. I even met scammers and I talked to them as well, and I met people in the industry. And they told me the stories of why these things can happen. And one thing that has really stuck with me, and I've thought about it a lot, and I've never really made a video about it, and I've just tried to digest it and try and understand it the best way that I can. And I want you guys to picture this, right? And I'm going to tell you a true scenario that has happened, okay? But you can relate it to, it's probably happening many times all the time, and it's happening probably now everywhere around Ukraine. Picture this. A guy comes over, okay? And he does his dating, as we've all done. He dates multiple women at once, and then he narrows his choice down to, say, 3. And say this guy, and I'm basing this on a true story, say this guy is young, he's handsome, he's a successful guy. He's a catch, right? He's a catch. And he starts dating 3 different women. And he comes back 2, 3 times. I'm not sure how many. I'm going to say 3. And whenever he comes back here, he visits one for a week and then visits the other for a week and then visits the other for a week. Because he's trying to figure out which is the right woman he wants to marry, right? The right woman for him. He's having sex with all 3 women. He's supporting all 3 women. He is buying all 3 women gifts and taking them out for dinners and everything like that. All 3 women do not know about each other. All 3 women are young, between the age of 21 and 25. They all believe that they are in a relationship with this catch. I don't know what goes on with their conversations, but I assume it's along the lines of moving to his country and starting a life together, maybe children, what she's going to do. I would assume by that stage that conversation would have come up. So he's having that conversation with 3 different women. So that goes on for about 4 or 5 months until eventually this catch tells him that he's not interested, one at a time, of course. Sorry, it's off. It's off. That's the end of that. All 3 women, of course, are going to be devastated, right? They're young. They're not as experienced and as seasoned as maybe a 30-year-old or a 35-year-old. They've never been married. They've got no kids. In effect, 3 women in 3 different parts of the city or 3 different towns, wherever they're from, are heartbroken by this Western guy who's come in, had sex with them, wooed them off their feet, bought them gifts, and made them feel as though they're in a relationship. And now they're all heartbroken. So let's just think about what these soon-to-be scammers are thinking. So the guy's come in, right? And he has pretty much just left a trail of destruction. Think about this. Let's just say it was, I met one of these women. Somehow, she's still going to the social or something like that. Is she going to take me seriously? Am I going to be able to start a relationship with her? She's going to be thinking, well, this guy's just coming over to basically play the game. He's going to come over just to have sex. He's going to buy me gifts. He's going to take me out for dinner. I'm not going to let my guard down like I did the first time. How is that going to be for me? Straight away, she's going to be thinking, well, if he's going to buy me gifts, I'll let him buy me gifts. Like, who does he think he is coming over here and using me for sex? She may know that there are other women. She may have an inkling, a suspicion that there are other women that he's doing this with. All of a sudden, whether she wants to think it or not, she has become a scammer in some sense. May not be a full-blown scammer yet, but it's a scammer in some sense. A guy that she's not going to let her guard down for because she's been burnt in the past, but will allow the guy to buy her gifts and take her out for dinner, take her on holiday, whatever, all these things. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sticking up for full-blown scammers because, I mean, you guys know my thoughts on them, right? But we have to think about it from the other side. We have to, because we can't just always be thinking it's about us, that we can have 6 girlfriends and there's going to be no repercussion on the other end and there's going to be no repercussion for the next guy that comes through. It could be me, it could be you. Some of the stories that I've heard are absolutely horrendous. You know, like we always try to think that, you know, the guys coming over here are, you know, top dogs, you know, they're gentlemen. But I mean, a percentage of them are, and a lot of the guys that I've met are. But some of the guys that I've met are just complete fucking assholes. One guy I met, this woman like really liked him. Okay, I know that she did because I spoke with her. And they went out and this guy started telling her stuff like that he was going to buy an apartment in the city that she lived in. This is after like I think 2 or 3 meetings. He was going to buy an apartment in the city and she could live there with her child. And that he would come over and that he was going to start, I think like a cafe or open up some shop or something for her to work at. And so she's thinking that this is amazing, you know. But he was saying it because 1, he was drunk, and 2, he was trying to basically sleep with her. The next day when I caught up with this guy, he told me that what he had said, but he didn't say it like he was excited. He said it like this, okay? I'll tell you exactly how he said it. Oh, you won't believe what I did last night. I told that chick that I was going to buy her apartment. And I said, why did you say that? And he said, oh, I don't know, I wanted to have sex. And I said, that's fucking terrible, man. Like she's going to be thinking that you're interested in her. I said, you need to call her now. Oh, I'll just let it go. I'll just forget about it. This is exactly the problem, is that when guys do this, is that they come over here thinking that they're top dogs. You know, they can just come over here to have as much sex as they want, and the woman will give it up because they're desperate. The guy's got everything to offer and she's got nothing. The guy's accepting the woman. It's not true. The moment that you think that, you're going to lose. These guys that I know that are like this, I don't know any of them that are successful. It's the guys that don't do that that are successful. The guys that don't create this fucking tornado behind them and then move on to the next one. And it's the guys that come up, the guys like us that come around afterwards trying to sort of convince the woman that, no, I'm not like that. No, I'm not a sex tourist. I'm not, going to use you. I'm a good guy. And you have to really try for it. You need to meet a woman that has never been through this thing in the first place. And the worst thing about it is that when it happens to one woman, it's like a virus, okay? One woman will she'll get the free iPhone, okay? Fine, she got the free iPhone, then it falls away. She thinks, well, what's next? What can I get from this guy that's coming on? Well, he's way older than me. I'm not interested in him. My moral value is that her moral standards have dropped now. How low are they actually going to go until she's 25 and she's dating 65-year-olds for free food and an iPhone? It's like a virus. Once her friend sees what she's getting, her friend's working 9 to 5 and she's making $400 a month. Her friend is getting iPhones every week and she's getting money sent to her from several guys. All of a sudden her friend is looking at this thinking, why does she get that stuff? I want that stuff as well. It multiplies. It's like that movie The Gremlins when they put water on them and they go pew, 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 and there just becomes more of them. That's what it's like. It stems from just some guy, someone just doing something that just sets a chain reaction behind them. I mean, I know that there are full-blown scammers that just one day go, woohoo, I'm going to be a scammer. But a lot of them aren't. And I know the one that scammed me wasn't. She went to one of these agencies and they basically forced her to go on dates with guys that she wasn't interested in. And they started giving her money and they started getting phones. She became a full-blown scammer. I know this because I know people that personally know her. So why have I told you this story? And I actually feel a little bit different telling you this story. Normally I'm sort of a little bit more jovial, I suppose. But this one here is, the more that I've thought about it, the more upset and angry I've got about it. And when I speak to people in the industry about it, they all understand. They're the ones, like, we can have a conversation about it and agree 100%. It's come from guys being unrealistic and guys treating women like shit. And I want you guys to understand it. And most of you guys have probably never even thought about it. And at the start, I was the same too. So I understand, like, you just don't think about it. It's just not even on your mind. But it is something to think about. It is a shift in the paradigm that we have. I mean, everybody is so focused on scams. Like, it would be great if like a scammer come out or a bunch of scammers come out and put out a YouTube channel and told their side of the story. Imagine that. Imagine if there was their side of the story. We'd be thinking, who are these guys that are complete assholes that are doing this? Why are they like that? There is no YouTube channel with these women doing that, but it is actually happening. So hopefully that helps some of you guys out there, but hopefully it helps you guys understand a little bit. Like, you would never get this unless that you happen to be in my position, and I'm quite fortunate to be in my position, and I see all these sides of the story, and I actually really wanted to understand where a scammer came from as opposed to casting them off as just another scammer. I believe that the more information that you know, the more successful that you can be. And that's what it's about. It's about being successful fast, without making the mistakes that I've made and many of the other guys have made as well. So hopefully you guys liked that video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn more and talk to other guys that have been on these journeys as well, so that you can get started, or maybe just learn if you're halfway through it or you've had some troubles or you've been scammed as well, then visit ukrainefusion.com. There's a heap of discussion that's going on in there at the moment, and ask some questions and get some advice so that you can be successful. If you liked the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.